Say what you want, anything you need. Walk to the edge of the world for you, 'cause I'm all about you now. About you now. Now what you see, you've been calling me. Ain't nothing that you could do to make me walk away. I gave you love, tell you that you're a star, until you see that you are. No matter how hard it's raining, I'll make it come. I hope you feel me, even when I'm gone. Through the golden wet weather.
He's a one-man band. He does it all, and now he's going to show us.
Tap opportunity, gets it! Off a fantastic throw pass. An easy shot.
Keep on holding you up. I'll do anything to break you for a day and night.
Ridiculous shot.
Big touch. That was one of the most calculated.
Keep on holding you up.
As we're creeping up on that 3-minute mark, Crouton double tap, what a shot! Ladies, gentlemen, Octanes, and Roadhogs, welcome back to the end of QRLS Week 3 of Season 6. We are in for a treat here tonight. We see the two franchises on your screen. Astro taking on the Gold Diggers, and joining me in the booth for the second time this week, my good friend and colleague, Night Leaper. Night Leaper, how's it going, my friend? Welcome back.
Yeah, it's going good. You know, I always love to be here on stream, here on the field. I'm not on the field tonight, but any QRLS action I can get, you already know I'm down for it.
Yeah, and we have only one match on the docket tonight, but one that is surefire going to be very, very exciting. We have Astro taking on the Gold Diggers, and two captains who are very friendly, very familiar with each other, but really want to beat the opposing captain across the field from them. A nice little friendly rivalry, if we should so say here, Night Leaper.
Yeah, and one of the cool things about these two teams, coming together is that they actually have not played together before, played against each other, that is, despite being in the league both this season and last season.
Yes, very good point. Both franchises facing each other for the very first time in their 10 years here in the QRLS. Astro, obviously an expansion team last season, just barely missed the playoffs in the Savage Division in Season 5. And we now see the Gold Diggers, who historically have been to a finals before in their franchise's history, but failed to make the playoffs last season. In fact, only won 6 games. Von Rabbit comes in, takes the reins of the Gold Diggers franchise here at Night Leaper, and hoping to turn it around. As you can see, has a brand new roster, including coming off of a trade for Waffles recently with the Three Rocketeers. Give us your thoughts here on that one. He had executed the trade, traded away 2 draft picks, and dropped Robbie Riddlehoove in return.
Yeah, as far as Waffles and Papa Chunky Pup go, they're both fairly new to the league, and we really haven't got to see that much of them. So for Von Rabbit to, trade a veteran player like Robbie, he kind of had to have something planned for his player like Waffles.
Yeah, and I mean, this is Rabbit's first season as a captain, and all 3 of the other players on his roster are rookies. So that's actually a very interesting dynamic, sort of a hard reset, if you will. On the opposite side of things, Astro is in a very, very fun situation here. Bolton and Crouton were both on the team last season, and Dark Rain actually was on the team last season, retired abruptly in the middle of the regular season, unretires this season, and in the QRLS, the team you retire from has your retirement rights for 2 full seasons. So when he unretired, Astro said, we'll take him. They dropped Sea Strife, and now it's 3 players who played almost an entire season together, plus the rookie Kells, who has been lighting it up on the stat sheet.
Yeah, I do like Astro's team. Last season they were quite a force to go against. But one of the cool things is, they kind of have, Bolton and Crouton, they kind of have that Fabrizi Billy Bob dynamic going on, where they're coming back for their second season here, and they're definitely going to have that kind of dynamic, that kind of chemistry that a team's really looking for.
Yeah, very good point. Not a lot of pairings in the league this season that played with each other the season prior, so that's going to be going a long way here in the QRLS Season 6. We saw some real spicy matchups earlier in the week, Leaper, and a lot of them came yesterday, two of which were sweeps, and both of those sweeps tightened up the standings not only in each division, but across the board. Just the entire league just tightened up with those two sweeps, and the standings now are very, very close, especially if the Gold Diggers can pull off a series win tonight. What do you think is the credit to the league being so tight right now?
I feel like, as the farther we get into each week and, the farther we get into each season, captains are definitely going to be, molding their team a little bit harder. The teams are going to be forming, coming together a little more. Those little cracks are going to seal up. And, real teams' colors are going to start to show. So coming into week 2, some of the teams that were, or coming into week 3, sorry, some of the teams that we thought, had leagues ahead of points over others, and some teams, that were a little bit behind, they've almost like kind of flipped the scale. Teams are starting to even out because I believe, they're really fitting into their own here.
Yeah, and I honestly couldn't have said it better myself, and it's going to be very interesting to see how the league shapes in the latter weeks of the season, including the trade deadline as we approach it coming up in week 5. Leaper, we're just about 8 minutes to go until kickoff here in this 3-game series. Give us your take. Who do you have taking the cake here tonight?
Tonight, I think I'm going to have to go with Astro, just because they did win last week. I feel like, they're going to have kind of a higher moral standing than the Gold Diggers, who are coming off of a sweep from the Cyclones in week 2. So I think overall, Gold Diggers also coming out with a new team, like you said, with all rookies except for the captain, Von Rabbit. I think the chemistry of Astro is going to kind of top Gold Diggers here tonight.
And you heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead and put in your predictions. We have the prediction up right now to wager your channel points, and you can cash in those channel points on all sorts of spicy things, including coaching sessions, merch store discounts, and much, much more. Go ahead, get those channel points going, and also give us some suggestions for channel point rewards. If you seem to have an idea of something that you want to see in the QRLS, because these streams, we want them to be as interactive as we can possibly get them to be, and that starts with all of you watching here tonight. Leaper, only 3 games left. I want to talk a little bit about Player of the Week. So 3 games left in week 3. Right now, obviously, we can see the stats as they see fit on the weekly results sheet linked in the Discord page on the all-times stats and standings section. However, what goes into being quote-unquote the player of the week? Already so early on in the season, we have seen a lot of players seem to feel like they have gotten snubbed of the award.
It's not just like who has the most goals or, who has the most saves. It's just who is, overall just the best player that, kind of showed themselves that week. It's not based on any kind of single category. And I think that's why a lot of players that, potentially, they have any right to be in player of the week, but there's always, somebody that's going to get it because they're just a little bit more well-rounded, or just in that week's series, they just showed themselves as more of a team player.
Yeah, no doubt, and it's honestly one of the more fun things we get to do here at the QRLS is recognize players week to week, especially with 3 divisions now, 4 upcoming. As we all know and love, it was announced earlier this week that the QRLS is officially expanding in Season 7. We will be adding 4 teams, including a 2-conference split, hosting 2 divisions per conference. Leaper, give us your thoughts on expansion.
Expansion is always fun. Last time we did expansion, it did bring a lot of players into the QRLS, and I think that's what's going to do again. Going into Season 5 was the biggest influx of free agents the league has seen, and I believe we're going to be able to do it again. People are going to start bringing in their friends, and with the help of the Twitch, I think the league is looking at a big growth coming up.
Yeah, and that's honestly such a good point. And, the more people that can get involved and included, the better it is for the league overall, if you ask me. It's going to be so much fun here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Astro coming off of a win last week. Gold Diggers coming off of getting swept last week. So, tale of two different teams at the moment. But Gold Diggers in week 1, Leaper, they looked really good.
Yeah, they did look really good, and but that's kind of how this league is. You go against some teams that you can beat, and some teams you just can't. And so it's kind of just if you can, make your team as flexible as possible and as adaptable as possible. Because in the end, you want to be able to adapt to each team you come across, and not just rely on the ones you can beat.
Yeah, and there's so much too that goes into all this kind of stuff, and there's just a lot of mental capacity too that goes into the week-to-week grind in the QRLS. And there's so much that can be missed during the game just because of that sort of attitude and that sort of mental gap, if you will. Have you ever had any sort of nerves going into a match, especially in the QRLS?
I definitely have had nerves going into matches. I mean, I remember end of season 4, I was on the Hammerheads, and there was one game where we had to win it to make playoffs. That was a very nerve-wracking game. I know all of us were fighting for that one pretty hard. But in the end, I mean, almost every matchup in the QRLS is going to have players kind of nervous for what they're going into because, you do want to win, even though this league is not ultra competitive. A win is always nice, and it's definitely what we're out here fighting for, and that's going to give nerves to anyone.
Yeah, especially being on stream too, being in the spotlight for that little bit of time, it goes a long way. But once you get comfortable there, Leaper, some people honestly love being under the lights and love playing under the pressure at points.
Yeah, I mean, some people play better when they're under the pressure. I've seen some people do some crazy things on the stream. I mean, personally, once that first match gets over with, or at least gets going, I kind of forget about, that I'm even on screen. I feel like that's how a lot of players are, going into it. They're just a little bit worried, a little bit jittery. But, as the game goes on, everyone kind of, calms down. And I think that's why the games get a little bit better as we go on, is because no one's as jumpy, and it gets a lot more competitive.
Yeah, you start to callous up to the stream and the pressure and the eyes being on you, and the allure of Champions Field here in QRLS. A lot that goes into being mentally and physically prepared, so to speak, in your performance in the QRLS. Ladies and gentlemen, we are less than a minute away from going into kickoff here. Last match of week 3 here this season. And obviously, Leaper, this season just seems like it's flying by so fast. We're already about to hit week 4.
It definitely does. Week 4 is almost a halfway point. But let me tell you, those remaining 7 weeks we're coming up on, plus finals, they are going to stretch out. I remember season 5 it took up almost the entirety of last summer, and it's not anything I have a problem with, but the league at times can definitely feel very long. Season, that is.
No doubt about it. This is a grind, and that a testament to the players, especially the ones that make deep playoff pushes. It is a huge testament to their ability to keep up with said grind. And, 10 weeks doesn't seem like a long time until you're in it.
Yeah, I really like that, what you said there, because it definitely is. It's, can you keep up with all the other players in the league, and can you keep up with your own team, as the weeks go by? You get just a little bit more worn down, or maybe you get worn in. I like to think of it more as getting worn in as the weeks go by, but it looks like the players are starting to hit the field here.
Yes, sir. And as we mentioned, Dark Rain is back in the QRLS, and it looks like he is making his Season 6 debut here since coming out of retirement. Gold Diggers, Astro, underway here. Game number 1 of this 3-game series. Astro with a big face-off win. Papa Chunky Puff pushes the offensive agenda for the Gold Diggers. Big pass off the sidewall. Nobody there to shoot it as Crouton gets the clear. And we see Von Rabbit volleying this thing at the mid. Already a lot of pressure from the Gold Diggers. Big save by Dark Rain. Welcome back.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to be getting another night of no subs because if I can check the players in the lobby correctly, it seems that both teams have only brought 3 of their players here. The Gold Diggers only having 3 to start with, but it seems like Astro has only come with 3 of their 4 players, so it looks like we're going to be seeing the same lineup all night.
Yeah, and you know, there is a lot that goes into the substrats, and
what
you
a
never
save.
know what could happen. What a save indeed, as we saw that thing was pixels away from going in, but nonetheless, big opportunity here for the Gold Diggers, but no, Crouton, big clear into the offensive zone. Astro pushing on offense. Bolton, pass off the back wall. Crouton kisses it up. Nobody there to shoot. Papa Chunky Puff transitions this thing into offense for the Gold Diggers as they now push on the net of Astro. This one's floating towards the net. Crouton gets an awkward clear there. What an acrobatic save.
Yeah, I mean, all these players are firing on all cylinders right now, and I'm looking around and, you know, they're being very careful here, all of them, with their boost consumption. They're really saving it for these big plays, and I think that's why early here, you know, only a minute and a half in, that's why we're seeing all these big aerials and shots.
Big save there by Astro once again. And we still have no goals here early on as Crouton gets the dribble and looked like he wanted a second touch, but ultimately he did not need it, Leaper.
A third touch, he got the one off the wall. I mean, this was, what a play. He brought that all the way downfield, got it past all of Gold Digger's members. And, you know, Crouton, what a guy.
Yeah, great goal there. First goal of the night. Astro takes a 1-goal lead here. 3:16 to go. Still anybody's game, but Gold Diggers looking to answer back after that one. For those of you who are new to the QRLS, we play 3 total games every series, regardless of series record, which means each team has the potential to take 3 wins on the opposing team for the night. Beautiful demo as the Gold Diggers transition into offense. Papa Chunky Puff off the sidewall. Shot, no! Waffles couldn't get there in time.
Oh, you know he wanted that one. I could tell he was trying to read that block off of one of Astro's members, and the block was not received. So an unfortunate miss there from the Gold Diggers. They definitely wanted that one.
And we see now Astro transitioning on offense. Papa Chunky Puff seems to be the unspoken leader of this team so far in this match here in week number 3. But Von Rabbit trying to get this thing at the mid. Crouton up in the air. We saw him do it once already. Can he get another? Beautiful save by Papa Chunky Puff.
Yeah, and as you're saying, you know, Papa Chunky Puff seems to be kind of the spearhead of the Gold Diggers offense. It seems like Crouton's kind of doing his part out here to lead Astro into a victory. I mean, most of the offensive pressure we've seen coming from Crouton.
Waffles looks to redirect there. Couldn't get enough angle on it. Pressure still on by the Gold Diggers as they rotate back now. Astro in the offensive zone now as they have gotten Dark Rain. Pass off the back wall. Von Rabbit, big clear. Crouton fields this thing at the mid. Nice little game of back and forth so far. Good pass here by Astro. Nobody home with a beautiful defensive presence by the Gold Diggers. Still no goal since that first one. Really tight-knit game so far.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we got that first goal a minute and a half in, and we haven't really seen much sense. It seems both teams are definitely kind of settled into each other at this point. And what a save! I believe that was a bicycle save right there from Dark Rain.
Dark Rain getting every inch of that car to get where it had to be. That was a very tight hole to potentially squeeze through for the Gold Diggers, but nonetheless, Dark Rain gets the beautiful clear there on the epic save. 1 minute to go here. Gold Diggers need a goal in order to tie this thing up as they trail against Astro 1-0. Astro with a big clear. Papa Chunky Puff is there to field. Waffles instead hits it off the sidewall. Nobody home. Big opportunity as Dark Rain gets his first goal of Season 6.
Dark Rain with the half-field long shot out here. And, you know, I was just looking at his score, and not only is he holding up a pretty solid offense for Astro, but he also has 4 saves right now. which is crazy for a QRLS game for one player to have all of the saves on a team. And wow, another goal from Astro right here. Almost a nail in the coffin. But as I was saying, I like how well divided Astro is. They have offensive players, defensive players. They're kind of like all around they kind of have all the bases covered.
3-goal lead here by Astro with 40 seconds to go off of the beautiful fielding there by the captain, Bolton. This one seems all but over as we will move into game number 2, where Astro looks to win the series and Gold Diggers look to tie the series up. Really tight-knit game other than those last few seconds there, Leaper. What was the difference maker in terms of why Astro might have had a little bit of an advantage?
As the timer got down, we broke that minute mark, and I think the Gold Diggers, they really realized that they have to do something here and now if they want to, have any shot at taking this. And, as the unfortunate thing about decisions like that is you're going to come with slip-ups, and I think that's what happened, that their defensive end was left so wide open that Dark Rain got a beautiful shot right on goal, and I think, after that, just a little bit of nerves, realizing they might not have a shot, and just the panic of trying to catch up is going to lead to that third goal.
What does the Gold Diggers have to do to adjust here in Game 2 to avoid the sweep?
As far as what the Gold Diggers need to do, I feel like maybe offensive rotations is their key here, because, when they had the pressure, they really had it, but they just couldn't ever hold it for too long, and I think, that's because either the third or second man just wasn't able to keep up with obviously the defensive abilities of Astro. But if we look at Gold Digger's stats, they have a lot of saves here and not as many shots. So I definitely think they need to focus on kind of not only just offense in itself, but kind of how they're going to work as a team in the offensive end.
Yeah, we will see if the Gold Diggers can adjust, as they did not have the advantage there ball possession-wise in game number 1. Game number 2 going to be coming shortly as we are getting ready for kickoff. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to check out both merch stores that are linked in the description and in the QRLS link tree, as we have all sorts of new spicy items, including women's tees and hoodies, brand new to the merch store. Please go check it out. Get yourself something nice and cash in some channel points, too, if you're looking for a discount.
Game 2 kickoff going underway. Looks like we're going to have Crouton versus Waffles. Big early lead here by Waffles and the Gold Diggers, but Astro quickly regains control of this ball, and they're really showing here that even though Gold Diggers had that early start, they have full control over the defensive end.
Astro keeping the pressure on. Papa Chunky Puff looked for the pass to Von Rabbit. Nobody home. This one at the mid now. Bolton trying to push this thing for Astro. Couldn't quite get it by Waffles, though, as Papa Chunky Puff up in the air. Looking for something good off the back wall. Double tap. No, couldn't get there for the second one.
Yeah, and I know that they had that planned out. I saw Waffles, sitting mid, ready for that to drop down. Unfortunately for Gold Diggers, Astro's defense, they're very quick. They're not going to give Gold Diggers any kind of time to think about what they're doing. Any ball that's left open for more than a second, they're going to take.
Still no score here early in game number 2. Pass to Chunky Puff. What a shot. What a save by Astro.
That was a beautiful team play there by the Gold Diggers, but with all three of Astro there on defense, even with all three of them in, it almost went in. That's how good of a shot it was. And yeah, I feel like if Gold Digger can put some more of those together, they'll have this.
Papa Chunky Puff looking for the double tap. Can he get there? Triple tap, no! And what a shot by Waffles, hits the top post. And Gold Diggers again can't finish on the opportunities.
The crossbar gods are in favor of Astro tonight, as I believe that's the third one that has just been a little bit overshot.
Gold Diggers now trying to keep the pressure on. They've been on offense here for quite some time. Papa Chunky Puff trying to get this thing off the back wall. Waffles rotates in. Rabbit couldn't get the shot on. Bolton gets the clear. Astro transitioning. No one in net. Bolton squeezes it in.
I mean, overall, great play here by Astro itself. We're going to start off with that Dark Rain. He got a major bump there on, I believe, Papa Chunky Puff, which removed him as a shooter on the goal, which allowed Bolton to kind of take that ball all the way down and kind of just, take it straight into goal. And wow, top down, another early goal by Bolton. I believe that's his second kickoff goal of the night.
Bolton gets a little love from the post here, bar down, and we have a 2-goal lead already. Plenty of time left here, though. Gold Diggers looking to come back. If Astro wins this game, they win the series in 2 games, which is a very, very good way to start your week 3 if you are a captain.
Oh.
What a shot by Von Rabbit!
Yeah, beautiful shot there, just barely past the edge of goal, making it very hard to get for Astro, but you can see Papa Chunky Puff and Von Rabbit had the same idea here, and it even looks like Papa Chunky Puff gave Von Rabbit a little bit of a love tap. They both wanted, to put in a little piece of that goal.
We see now with 2 minutes and 55 seconds to go, it is a 1-goal game. Once again, the Gold Diggers finally score their first goal of the night on a banger by the captain, Von Rabbit. Plenty of time left here to mount a comeback. Papa Chunky Puff looks for the flip reset, gets it! Gets it by both Astro Gaming Squad, and now Waffles can't get it by, and nobody home to shoot the shot. Still, though, pressure on by the Gold Diggers. We see Astro trying to keep the defense on, trying to play that bend, don't break strategy.
Yeah, the goal they got is definitely going to give them a lot of hope here, and as we can see, that they're going for a little bit more challenging maneuvers here. They are realizing time is running out, but they do have still a lot of time for any kind of comeback here. But they're definitely playing a little bit more offensive this game. I believe we've been seeing the ball actually for the most part up here in the Astros defensive end.
And what a shot by
there.
Papa Chunky Puff to come in and tie it for the Gold Diggers, Leaper.
They are definitely ecstatic right now. Major comeback here. Love that little hit right there. It goes straight in between 2 Astro players. Perfectly placed by the rookie Papa Chunky Puff.
2-2 game now. Gold Diggers have a little bit of momentum here now, Leaper, as they have scored 2 unanswered with 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, they definitely are. They're playing a little bit, they got a little bit of a spring in their step, kind of. I've seen, 3 major aerial wins here by the Gold Diggers in the past minute that they just weren't getting earlier. I think they really needed the hope that those 2 goals gave them to get them back in this game.
And we see now 1:38 to go. Nobody home on the shot as the Gold Diggers are trying to complete the comeback and take the lead here on Astro. But Bolton gets his hat trick here in game number 2.
Yeah, they really are looking for an offensive play here. And, they got it. Dark Rain got a nice little tap over the Gold Diggers defense, and they just did not have enough people back. Too many people pushed up, and unfortunately for the Gold Diggers here, Bolton was just able to sneak up and kind of throw that one in. But a great shot there by Papa Chunky Puff. He wanted to bring that one in and, tie it up for the Gold Diggers, but he just couldn't quite place it. And, a big shot there by Bolton, too. Both teams are still firing on all cylinders, even Astro, despite their 1-goal lead.
And we have 1:03 to go. Gold Diggers with a heartbreaker goal there, led in by Astro, still trying to complete this comeback. This time they have to tie the game up once again. Chunky Puff wanted the shot. Rabbit wanted the shot. Nobody could get there.
Oh, it's over all the Gold Diggers. If Astro had played that just a little bit better, they could have turned that into another shot. They had the goal wide open, but a great aerial there by Bolton to get it through the Gold Diggers is not received by his team.
30 seconds to go. Still enough time. Waffles gets by 1. Gold Diggers need a goal here. They are on offense. Papa Chunky Puff off the back wall. Von Rabbit couldn't get the shot. Waffles keeps it alive. Chunky
Another?
Puff. No, Astro gets the clear.
They need one right here. They've got to get this out of their end, and they just cannot mess up. Papa Chunky Puff, it just can't get the wall hit. And, they really need a boom right here is what they need, but some unfortunate touches are just going to lead this ball to just go straight up and down, and it looks as if this is going to be a loss for the Gold Diggers here tonight.
Clock hits 0. The Gold Diggers drop game number 2, which means the Astro squad is going to take the series and look for the potential sweep here in game number 3. Astro had a lot less ball possession, but Bolton just found goals where you didn't think he'd find them there in this one, Leaper.
Yeah, he got the hat trick here, and pretty accurate on his shots here. or maybe the Gold Digger's defense is just a little bit off, but he does place 3 out of 4 shots he takes. He's definitely leading the team here with almost 500 points more than even second place. Whereas you can see the Gold Diggers are a little bit more evened out, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I just think when going against the powerhouse that is Astro, they're definitely going to need both a strong offense and defense.
We will see how this plays out. The Brooms are peaking here as they are trying to execute the sweep on the Gold Diggers. Gold Diggers looking to avoid getting swept for the second week in a row here in the QRLS Season 6. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to reiterate that we are so thankful for everybody that has shown up here tonight. This has been a blast, and obviously this is the last match of Week 3, and it is going to be a very, very spicy one. Can the Gold Diggers avoid getting swept back-to-back weeks, or will Astro complete their first sweep of Season 6? Astro, Gold Diggers, game number 3 underway. Sweep is on the line in this one, and we have to give a big shout-out right at kickoff to Crocs with Socks for gifting another sub. That's, I think, his 3rd one this week. Croutons, double tap, no!
Yeah, we love to see these new members of our league, getting into the Twitch and getting into the community. So thanks for Crocs with Socks, definitely for that one. But, going into the 3rd game here, it looks like Gold Diggers are having just a little bit more control than they previously had. And, I know Von Rabbit really was looking for that one. And what a beautiful shot there by Waffles. Another defensive play here by Astro. And, I could tell Von Rabbit, he was looking out for Bolton there, really trying to get that touch up over him and just couldn't get it. But Bolton, again, Astro coming out swinging with their defensive abilities against the Gold Diggers in this 3rd game.
Yeah, no question, and we see a minute into this one, Gold Diggers still seem to have the field dominated so far, but a big touch there. Bolton looks for the shot. Waffles gets there in time. Beautiful demo. Gold Diggers are down a man right now for the time being. Miss save. Chunky Puff gets there some way, somehow.
Yeah, the Gold Diggers are moving a lot faster than they were earlier, and I think that's because, they're fighting even harder here to not get swept than they were just to win, because often that is how it goes. And, that is also where, mess-ups in rotation can come in. And we have already seen a couple examples for that. Luckily for the Gold Diggers, they turn into goals, but an often open back end is going to lead to a lot of goals here for Astro.
Still no score here. 3:20 to go in game number 3. Astro looking to get the sweep, and we are trying so hard to see if Gold Diggers can prevent the sweep for the 2nd week in a row. What a save! What
a save there by the Gold Diggers. And, another great save there by Von Rabbit. They're combating this Astro offense pretty well, considering how the rest of the night's gone. They're, halfway through the game, and it's still 0-0.
We see now 2:44 to go. Big 50 here off of the pinch by Von Rabbit. No pressure, though, as Astro just keeps on keeping on offense. And with halfway into this game, no clear advantage. And to Gold Diggers' credit, all 3 games so far have looked like this in the fact that it hasn't been a blowout. However, they just can't seem to finish on the offensive end.
Yeah, does seem to be their kind of problem here. And then, in the end, they always seem to kind of force an offensive, to kind of divert all of their energy there in an attempt to, get some makeup goals. And that's usually where the defensive end cracks. Is just, I think, a little bit of imbalancing in where they're dedicating their efforts.
Papa Chunky Puff looked for the ground pinch there, couldn't get it by the defense, and now 2 minutes to go. Astro transitioning into offense. Bolton couldn't get it by Papa Chunky Puff there with a beautiful save. Chunky Puff puts one on net. Crouton with the save.
Yeah, great save there. Textbook save there by Crouton. Another nice wall hit there. Astro is just, they're playing a little bit more patient. If we watch, kind of how their defensive is working, they're not panicking. They're not really moving too fast. They're kind of taking their time on each of these hits, and I think that's what's really helping them kind of beat the Gold Diggers.
And you brought up a good point the last time we were in the booth together at Leaper, and it was that sometimes players we'll kind of kick it into adrenaline mode just to avoid getting swept and almost maybe play better. But now Croutons puts another one in far side.
Yeah, and just as equally as someone's going to be fighting to not get swept, the other team is going to be fighting to sweep them, because everybody loves the bragging rights of a sweep. It's one of the best things to come out swinging on a team. Going into that next week, you're definitely going to be, mentally feeling a lot better. And oftentimes the mental aspect of this game is half of it. If you come into a game feeling pretty good, your chances are going to be looking a little bit better.
Less than a minute to go. Gold Diggers are down. We've seen this before twice tonight alone, as we see them try to complete the comeback and tie this thing up. Crouton wanted the highlight reel again. Didn't quite get it. Chunky Puff up in the air. Ran out of boost, though. He wanted that one back.
Yeah, Astro's really going here for all these shots. I've seen a lot of pretty interesting shots here in this past 10, 20 seconds. Crouton looking for another one here. It seems like at this point, they're really just going for that nail in the coffin with Bolton going for another crazy shot. I think at this point, they may be overconfident. They may have already concluded their victory, and hopefully that doesn't lead to any kind of breaks in their formation.
3 seconds left. Gold Diggers need it off the ground. Rabbit kisses it up. This is towards the net. Oh, what a big clear as Astro completes the sweep.
Yeah, and they're kicking themselves for that. That landed right in front of goal. If anybody had been pushed up there, enough that could have been possibly an overtime goal. But tonight the Gold Diggers are going to go home with their second week in a row of sweeps, and you have to wonder if Von Rabbit's thinking about definitely getting another fourth player, since he's not in possession of one right now, and or if he's going to be looking to do some kind of trades.
Yeah, L weekend for the Gold Diggers still has not yet to see the field. Gotta wonder if he is going to make his debut here in the coming weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us here in the booth and for the QRLS in week 3. Tune into the stat sheet, where I'm going to be updating these stats in live time to reflect the results of this match. And Leaper, do you have anything else for us before we go?
No, just everyone, stay on the lookout. Next week is going to be even crazier than this week. The week after that is going to be even crazier than that. And, the QRLS is always a great place, a great community, just full of, great, not only great Rocket League players, but just great people in general.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for us. Don't forget to check out the merch stores that are linked in the QRLS link tree below. And as always, I am Little Bucket 59, the commissioner of the QRLS Night Leaper. Great job tonight in the booth, and thank you for joining me. Ladies and gentlemen, keep it quick.